All right, everybody. Welcome to part two of this week at the Cashflow Empire every Tuesday night. Where guys, we this is more John. Once again, this is our 100 plus episode.
Yes.
Yeah. So we've been doing this for a while now. Every single Tuesday. Last year we only missed twice. We only missed 4th of July, and I forgot the other holiday. But we literally do not stop. What we do here, guys, is we like to talk about the dirty, the ugly, the truth about real estate. This is the reason why we started this podcast every Tuesday night live. We wanted to bring all this value to you guys, just because we all probably got sold on these masterminds where they try to sell us this dream, and nobody really talks about the bumpy road it is and how is it that we get there, right? Well, guys, to every Tuesday, what we like to do is we like to bring friends, we like to bring family, active operators, and just operators in general that are easily accessible for those of y'all that are it's y'all's first time here. I mean, we've had some big names on this podcast. We had Brad Sumrock, we had Rod Cleve, and just many other successful multifamily investors that are essentially hard to reach. But my favorite thing is trying to bring as much value to you guys, to people that you're able to easily access. So this is why my favorite thing is just bringing everybody in today. I mean, we have the partners. Last week we had a really good session talking about the intro, who we are, how we're closing multifamily. Today we're going to go deeper into how is it that you can be a part of this? How is it that we're able to buy these multifamily units? Because I mean, just like many of us, right? We all think about single family. We all think about, you know what? Let me get started with a duplex. I hear multifamily. People think about a triplex, a fourplex. Everybody wants to start there. They think I got to start small. I want to start small, and then I'll baby step it in a few years, and maybe one day I'll own an 18-plex. Well, guys, I'm here to tell you that you're able to catapult into buying 60 plus units, 80 plus units, and you might be wondering how. I'm actually a proven concept because before I started my journey, I own zero. I don't even own a house. I haven't bought a house yet. I live in an RV. Just for y'all, just so y'all know. Like, let's put it into perspective. I don't even own a house. I don't have a mortgage. I've never owned one. I've never pulled a loan to buy a house. But we bought over 1,000 units. Like, who does that? And why would you do that, right? That just goes to show you that if you're in this room tonight and it's your first time, you're a first time investor, you're like, I want to dabble into real estate. I don't know how to do it. Well, guys, you can catapult straight into multifamily. It's possible. You can do it. And tonight we're going to talk about how is it that you're able to do it, John. So
Yeah, no, love it, love it. We're gonna go deep in explain you guys, who is a Model Investor Alliance, right? So last week we went and shared a little bit the stories of Sean, Jana, Sergio, and me, right? So if this is your first time, guys, I mean, we named this podcast The Power of Partnerships, right? So like Sergio say, he was in construction. I mean, 3 years ago, I was being a bartender, right? I was a bartender. Invest in my tips, right? Just buying and flipping properties, and now I was able to scale and doing multifamily, right? So if we did it, it's possible. I mean, I came to this country, 6 years ago, and now we're buying like a properties, worth a millions of dollars, right? So we're a proven concept, guys, just by being part of the right team. But I let Sean and Jana just gonna go and deep share with everybody a little bit about our vision, why we built MIA, what is MIA, and what is our purpose. And let's go. I let Jana go first.
All right. Well, this is it. This is the story of collaboration. I grew up thinking, well, if you want it done right, do it yourself and don't partner with anyone. Partnerships go south sometime, sooner or later. If anybody else has heard that, right? Give it a quick wave. That's just something that's for me. I had to change my thinking. I had done it all those years by myself and built training coaching, and I knew these guys were doing training coaching. Sean was going to do training coaching. So let's collaborate, let's partner together, because as we mentioned, single family we can do by ourselves, but multifamily is big. We're buying multi-million dollars. None of us have multi-million dollars in the bank yet. But what we do have is friends and family, right? We have partners. We have people that we can. We've got banks. We have legal. We have all of these things together. So MIA was literally created so that if we're going to go into partnership with people, we want them trained up, suited up, ready to get on the football field so nobody gets hurt. And so that's what the collaboration for me, it was the end goal, and the guys can back me up on this. The end goal, what is it? End goal? Properties. That partners, partnering together on properties, and so this is just I guess the bridge to get there. We know that we're always learners, and people that are growers are learners, and so there's a lot of programs out there. And I think what makes us different, and why we wanted to be different, is because we're part of other programs. We're like, okay, well, that's missing this is missing that. And people wanted to get on GP teams. That was the gap. People are like, yes, I can invest, but I really want to be on the field. I want to learn how to, and it's kind of like in school, if y'all remember, like it's not good manners to go ask your friend if you can spend the night with them. That you want them to ask you, hey, come spend the night, right? So you can't necessarily ask to be on a GP team. You want to be invited to be on the GP team. So MIA was about, let's fill in the pieces in training, and let's give people an opportunity. Let's reserve one piece of the GP pie for a group to come in and learn, and they get to be in these asset management meetings. They get to be in the uncomfortable, where you say, Sergio, when things go wrong, like they're learning, how do we deal with this? And how do we make this property better? How do we improve it? How do we give back to the residents? And the faster that we can learn that, the more properties we can do, because we're mitigating our risk, we're learning, and we're just getting better and better. So for me, I won't speak for the guys, but that's what this program, that we can come together and we can say we have similar goals. We want to build an empire. We want to build legacy wealth through properties, but we want to do it right so nobody gets hurt. So MIA is that for me. Sean, your turn.
Yeah, I mean, so MIA was really almost, like our other vertical integrations, was born out of people needing things that weren't out there, and we were able to put together our coaching program, our group GP, which is a huge success and big hit, as you were saying, Jana, with limited partners. It's cool to be in a limited partner, and some things, you've got other things going on and you just want, the passive return. But, we're finding out that a lot of those LPs are like, hey man, what does it take to be a GP? So we ended up coming up with MIA and the whole coaching program and the group GP. You guys get to kind of ride with us, and maybe you're saying, what the heck is all that, right? So, there's certain aspects that a GP teams they bring to the table in order to take down a deal, and those could range anywhere from operations to management to capital raise to finding the deal, putting the debt on it, raising the equity. So if you don't know what we call your quote unquote superpower is, we help you find that. We help you if you like numbers and you like to underwrite deals. We walk you through that. In fact, we just had a class last month on underwriting. Was very successful class. We had, I don't know how many people we had there. I think we had 30 or so people there. So, but we set these things up in order to help you understand and help you find out what your superpower might be. And then once we kind of establish that, you get put on a team. You come into an asset with the group, and you ride in a GP position. What's really cool about it, and by the way, nobody else is doing this out there, where you can actually ride as a group GP. You actually get paid. Like, you get paid. You don't just pay for a program and not get paid. You pay for the program, but you also come in as a general partner, like as a legit general partner. And so you get to partake in those GP distributions on top of any LP distributions that you have. So Yeah, I mean, it's a phenomenal deal. It's been a huge success. We've kicked out. I love this. People are like, you kick people out of the program. I'm like, yeah, we kick people out of the program. You know why? Because they were ready to ride GP. They were ready to go GP by themselves. So they once we kind of get them in, get them through the program, find out what their superpower is. We have 4 or 5 now just in, and they're not even done, by the way. They're not even done with their 12-month program, and they're out. We have one that found a deal, brought a deal. It's actually under contract, and she's been in the program for 3 or 4 months, Jana, maybe 5. I don't remember, but been in it not even halfway through the program. She took to it. She invested all of her time. She went through the modules. She did all that. She went out and found a deal. It's under contract. We signed the contract last Thursday, and she is a riding as a GP, no longer in the group GP. She can still partake in the group GP, but I mean, that's just one example. We got another example of somebody crushing it on capital raise. We kind of brought them through. Hey, no pressure, raise what you can. Well, they ended up raising it. They killed it on the capital raise. So we're like, why don't you go do your own thing, right? So they came in as a GP riding with us on a capital raise. So yeah, just man, it's an awesome program. If you guys are interested, John and Serge can share some more information about that. But it's just a really, really good program. If this is what you want to do, if this is what you want to, if you want to fast track your career in the multifamily, if you want to, like me, retire, buy my time back and spend my time with my family when and where and whatever I want to. It's just it's an awesome success. So yeah, John, Serge.
Yeah, I mean, just to be clear, guys, I mean, this is even unlimited, so this is not for everybody, right? So even we bet partners, right? Because this is gonna be a 3 to 5 year partnership, right? So we bet people, we want to make sure that we have the right people around, because again, our reputation is there, right? So we want to make sure that you guys succeed, right? But just short, let's just tell everybody, as soon as we founded MIA, as soon as we collaborate, as soon as we became partners. So if you want to go and share with everybody how many units we have managing right now, how many people became GPs, right, after they decide to come in the team and partner with us, right? So let's share success with people, like how we're going to be able to scale from doing it ourselves, right, and now to do it as a team.
Well, so I don't know if I want to share the story, but I kind of do and I kind of don't. So I'm going to share it anyway. So so my first deal, I had like 0 doors, 4 or 5 years ago. Didn't even know I could buy apartments, first of all. And I kind of went into a partnership. I hadn't properly vetted a team. Kind of went through some of the steps, hit some pitfalls, struggling through that a little bit. By the way, we still have the asset, and it's okay. It's not killing it, but that's kind of back in the day where, to your point, is hey, just jumping into a deal, not vetting your partners. And I want to further. So that was an 18 unit, right? So and we're struggling with it a little bit. We're able to make payments and distributions and things like that. But that was one group. Then I came upon Sergio, Jonathan. I met Janet and Tim. We all met actually before that, quite frankly, but we hadn't partnered anything together. So I went from 18 doors with one group to now over 2,200 doors with these 5 people: Jonathan, Sergio, Tim, Janet, and myself. In just a couple of years. That's the difference between jumping into something, not vetting your partners, and coming into another, finding another partnership, finding synergy that works. And we bring all of our knowledge, we bring all of our paid mentorship programs. We all have mentors. It's not like we don't have mentors that we look up to. We're all paid in Grant Cardone, Brad Sumrock, Rod Cleve. I think there's 1 or 2 more out there, but Jana's a 10X coach. I am now a 10X coach, so I'm super excited about that. But we bring all that knowledge into the program, and we're able to do kind of what we were talking about earlier. Bring people that want to. they need to have the drive. This program isn't for everybody, right? This program, and that's why Jonathan was saying it, you know, we don't just let anybody into this program. It is like, we want to have an interview with you. We want to make sure that your money is going to be well spent and you get value out of that money. The last thing that we want y'all to do is come into the program and not get any value out of it, because I mean, that doesn't help anybody. It doesn't help us, and it certainly doesn't help you. So we go through that process. But yeah, I mean, once we put this thing together, figured out how successful it was, figured out how great the students liked it, enjoyed it, and told us how there's nothing else out there. Yeah, we picked out four or five. And I say we kicked out, they're still in the program, but we upgraded them, right? They've graduated kind of in their own right. By the way, again, as I mentioned earlier, some of them haven't even finished the 12-month program, but that's how much value that we bring to the table with our program by collapsing time, avoiding those pitfalls, and bringing in our knowledge and sharing it with you guys from all different walks of life, meaning mentorships from Dallas, mentorship from Florida, two in Florida, one in Dallas. So yeah, it's a hugely successful deal. So
Did y'all hear that? 2,200 units. I mean, just the power of partnerships. And I would have never thought that we would have ever got there. I would have never thought that I would have even owned 20, units. People that look like me they're not supposed to be doing that kind of stuff, right? So it's just crazy, guys. It's crazy just targeting what Janice said earlier, the mindset we have, scarcity mindset of being scared to collaborate with people, and granted, are there knuckleheads out there in this world? Of course. But that's why, I'm glad that we were able to vet each other. We were friends long before we even thought about partnering up. And then we all just kind of got together. We're on the same area. Like, hey, well, we need to do something together. Yeah, we need to do something together. Well, what y'all got going on? Well, nothing much, but what y'all got going on? Well, I don't know. Let's figure something out. And by the time you know it, we just created this alliance, and the rest was history. But it's pretty cool how once again, just in the matter of not even a long time, guys. It's been what, 2-3 years. We were able to just come together and kill it. But John, I mean, you got something?
Yeah, I mean, we had some success, even partners on the call that we're gonna call them out later or something, just to share a little bit, the value that they go through to be part of the team, right? But Jana, I mean, the question is gonna be, to you, like, how are you feeling right now after, we had the idea, right? Okay, let's form MIA, let's scale, let's bring partners, because we cannot do this by ourselves, right? Now we're able to bring more people, and now we're able to delegate, we're able to grow, right? And then if you want to share how many actually, people became a GP, because that's everybody's question. Okay, I'm not gonna rather be a GP if I partner with you guys. So I'll let you go, Jana.
Yeah, absolutely. So I think about the progression as Sean's talking about in the program, and it doesn't work without properties. And so our first group GP was Casa. Many of you guys heard about Casa, and we reserved roughly, our goal is like 10 spots for people to come learn. And it's kind of first come, first serve. Casa is its own unique asset with its own unique opportunities, as well as challenges. So now they're learning, okay, what is a C asset, this demographic, this area of Dallas, what's the expectation? So when we go do another C like to like property, apples to apples, we're ready to go. So that was the first one. And we then moved into Sawyer's Mill. So many of you guys participated in Sawyer's Mill one way or another. And we opened up another group GP position. And to Sean's point, we had Levi moved over to a GP there from Casa, from that group. And then also Brian and Natasha moved up, kind of moved and transitioned, because it was a like to like. Well, now we have 2 more properties. And if you guys like, deal flow is happening right now, but very, very few people are participating. It's actually turning into a buyer's market. We just went down to Houston and walked a couple of properties yesterday and are getting an LOI on one of those, an offer here, and it's already written up and it may have been submitted, Sean. We've been working at that on that at the end of the day here, but now we're going to, on these two new assets, be pulling up a couple of others from the group GP positions that want to participate. It's all by choice. It's all how much time you have, how quickly you want this to grow. And to also Sean's point, one of our assets is a Class A plus. It is like no CapEx, Sergio, right? He's going to go in on Friday like, okay, what are we doing here? I don't even know, right? I don't even know what to do. But somebody may want to say, well, I've done a GP here, but I'm going to go back to a group GP because I've never done an A plus. That's a new lesson. That's a new opportunity. We're going to be in San Antonio. That's a new market. It's a B. It's a good, solid B. So it's all these properties are so unique, and it is about getting trained up, learning, executing, and so now literally we said 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. We're going to run another 8 GPs coming in from one of the 2 programs or properties into this new these new vehicles. So it's just amazing to just see that growth and people wanting to step up. And it's self-paced, that everybody has modules, and then we all get together on Thursdays and do a lunch and learn, and we're over those key topics that we're dealing with now. We have properties, real properties, as examples to talk about. So I just love it. It's helping us grow faster too and get trained up, so we get to pick right properties to be able to bring to the group.
I want to go ahead and make a comment before I see Mr. Robert Godina's hand is up, and we'll get to you right after the comment that I have to say. I mean, guys, to do this, we had, I mean, there was a lot of money that went behind it. A lot of, meeting up with our attorneys and make sure everything is great. A lot of stuff went behind this and the way we're structuring this, leading me to say also that, we mentioned earlier that me and John have spent over $100,000 worth of masterminds. Sean has spent over $100,000 worth of masterminds. And I don't even want to tell you what Janice meant, because she steadily stays investing in herself. And I want to ask you one day what that, I want to pinpoint it one day, but I know it's well over $100,000. And guys,
$500,000. We're up to $500,000 easy.
that's what I figured. That's what I figured of just nothing but mastermind, nothing but, knowledge that we're hustlers and we love to invest in ourselves. And once again, like this group was created with all the knowledge and all the experience that we got from everywhere else that we've learned. And what, maybe we're missing something here, or we'll do something a little different, or maybe this mastermind is missing that. And we literally came together, collaborated, and just created this MIA freaking goose egg that I love. And it's literally the works. It's got it all. We've got nothing but great feedback about it. So I'm super, super proud of it. And just the way we're growing and the way we're scaling with the people, the proven concept, just crazy. It's phenomenal. I mean, there's results being made here, but I'm sorry. Go ahead, Robert. My bad, brother. Welcome to the stage.
Hey, thank you. Can you hear me? All right, cool. I'm just curious, like, it's a program, you buy into it. Is that being counted as part of like equity in the deal, or is that separate? Is it just a strictly GP role, or how does it work? Trying to understand a little better.
So let's say that most properties that you get into are minimum of 50,000, and we put a lot of 50s and 75,000s in a lot of properties. We were LPs before GPs. We took that typical route. So with the program, it is a 25K program, and it's a 12-month program. Yes, you can renew and keep it going for a reduced rate because you may want to be in multiple properties. But if you had 50, instead of investing 50 on the LP side, you could now do 25K as your LP position and 25K into the program. And then that pays for it, right? So now it lets you learn and earn at the same time. So that's what we do. We make special allocations for you guys to get in on your first deal at that reduced rate, and be able to invest in the program at the same time. So it's super creative. The next deals you can come in, and if you want an LP or you get up on a GP, we as GPs also invest in the assets, right? We don't like the modeling that some people gurus may say, oh, well, if you raise enough, you don't have to invest. No, we want skin in the game. And so we also want that drip as GP. So you never invest on the GP side. I didn't really understand that. Even GPs are investing on the LP side. So it just lets you guys, divide and conquer, at least to get in. I hope that helps. And you guys can add anything to that as well.
I do, because when you get on the GP, right, you're going to have certain responsibilities. And how are you breaking that up? And what are you requiring? Like,
yeah. So with the group GP, the group GP, there's you guys are there. You're almost like you're there learning, and you're in the laboratory. Now you do have the opportunity to help raise. You are helping on certain teams as GP teams, like CapEx team. Sergio typically runs that, so you're working with Sergio if you want to run on CapEx, if you want to work on the financials team, if you want to help with the marketing team, if you want to help with, the investor relations or some risk capital. There's several things that the GP team does that group GP gets to participate in as well. They just don't have the stress and maybe the sleepless nights that we all do. My husband Tim here, Sean, Sergio, Jonathan, we've got a deadline, 60 days. We're raising 15 million, 8 million, whatever the call is. And the GPs are also stressing because all of us are raising, and we have extra large raise goals. And then we're also running on those teams in conjunction with raise. So it's raise and another position. So hopefully that helps. You guys just aren't under the pressure that the normal GPs are under, but you definitely are participating. I don't know if you guys want to add to that.
Yeah, I'd love to add to that. Just to give you a quick high level example, Robert. I know you live right down the street. You're not that far from Dallas Fort Worth. If you were to join the program, you come in as a GP, you're helping out because that's a requirement. You can't just raise money, jump in on the deal, and that's it, right? That's SEC regulations. We got to comply. So you'll essentially be a part of the CapEx team where you would help us and shoot, even with your connections in construction, you'll be like, hey, dude, I do construction. Maybe I got some guys that can come bring. Like, it gets that in depth because you are
Yeah.
boots on the ground. Like, we can get to that point and have those conversations and be like, brother, I got a crew that I can bring down here for a couple of weeks and we can do some damage, you know. And I mean, that's the opportunity that we have here to use our resources and the experience that you have that you would bring to the table as a partner, as a general partner, on the team. That's just a basic high level example that I got for you and you only.
And
So
I guess just another, are you guys offering like straight pref to LPs, or is it deal by deal as far is it a 20-80 split, 70-30 GP versus LP?
Yeah, so most of our deals, Robert, are 80-20 splits. We do not do pref equity. We have done them, but we try to keep our model extremely simple, just so that it's very easy for all of our investors to understand. We have a lot of new investors that come in all the time. So, these waterfalls and this pref equity, a lot of times they just don't understand that because they haven't been educated enough on it. So our model is to keep things simple. And to answer your question, yeah, it's almost 99% of our deals are 80-20 split. That's it. There's no pref, no nothing.
Yeah, that makes sense. Oh, thank you. I appreciate it.
Sure.
yeah, actually, great question, Robert. What I love to do right now, because we're talking about transitions, we've talked about having someone, kicking somebody out of the program. We've talked about people renewing. I'd love to bring really quick one of. I mean, he's not even a student. He's a brother of ours, Mr. Luis Catalan, Mr. Guatemala, who started as an LP, on Casa San Luis. He was on that team, but he also decided he wanted to continue to learn, because every asset is different. Just because we learned something and we went through different situations on one asset doesn't mean that it's going to be the same, the same game or the same old broken record on another deal, on the next deal we got. Every single deal is different. We go against different challenges at every single deal. And Mr. Luis Catalan, aka Mr. Guatemala, is one of the proven concepts of somebody that's literally, been on both teams. And now he's graduated. We kicked him out. We booted him. We're like, dude, you're on your own. You're a GP on Sawyer's. And Luis, I mean, just really quick, if you can just jump in and, man, but before you say anything, man, I'm super, super proud of you just because of how much you've grown in literally less than a year. Like you've been killing it, brother, since the day we met you. So huge shout out to you for taking action and just doing big things in such a short amount of time and just watching your confidence grow. I'll never forget the first conversation we had, and today, how far you've grown, and I just love it for you, brother. So just shout out to you really quick. Just tell us your experience on what how things were since you started at the Casa asset and now how you're literally on your own, just on your own GP spot.
Hey everyone, good to be here tonight. So glad to be part of this team, man. It's amazing. You can do it yourself, but it's gonna take you longer and it's gonna be harder. It's always good to partner with the right people and just basically take a shortcut, but because you need to leverage the experience of these people that are already in the business for a while, like Jana, Sean, Jonathan, and Sergio. These people are being in the business for a little while, and we just starting. So the best way to do it is just partner with them. Don't do it yourself, because I know if you do it yourself, you're gonna fail, and it's gonna hurt, because when you don't have experience on this type of investment, you're gonna lose your money very quick, and you're not gonna just lose your money, you're gonna lose other people's money, and that's even worse. So if you want to do things right, partner with the right people. Make sure you partner with these people, because these people really, really do what they say. I've been partnered with them for a year, and it's been working amazing. It took me 20 years for me to be in the position where I am right now, that I got in less than a year. It's been almost 1,000 units that I am partnered with these people, and it's been just blessings and a lot of learning. It's been good. I appreciate that.
Awesome, Luis, man. Again, like Sergio said, man, I'm really proud of you, man. Action taker. Just by the way, everybody, like Luis, he's an action taker. So even we bet Luis, right? So it's not like Luis, like, okay, I got the money, want to be part of your team. No, it's like it took a little time for betting Luis, right? Just to make sure that he's the right partner and everything, right? But now we are like, hey, Luis, man, let's go together on this, man. You have been killing it. You're action taker and on all the above, right? But yeah, this is one of the examples, guys. I mean, Luis, he want to learn, right? Because that's what he want to do, and he just doesn't want to be passive. He want to also learn the active side. That's why we open the space for him to learn, right? And now again, guys, I mean, just want to be clear, straightforward. In order for us to scale, we need partners, right? That's why we are talking to you guys today. We need partners, and we need the right partners. So you guys decide to jump into this with us and grow together and acquire more assets, in that way, you're going to be learning together. We're going to be delegating, and then we can just go and focus in 5 more properties, because we cannot do this alone, right? Just imagine us managing just Sean, me, Jana, like 10, 12 different assets at the same time. We'll go crazy, right? But now in Luis, he get trained, because now he's learning actively how is that we run the business, right? Now Luis is gonna be helping us, leading one of the assets. Simple as that, right? So that's kind
Yeah,
of
and
like
I
our
just
purpose.
just really quick, I just want to add something, guys. That the experience that we're getting. I mean, I'm not gonna bullshit you guys. I mean, one of my ultimate goals in my life is I mean, and it should be everybody, is leaving something behind, leaving generational wealth. You know, I don't have kids yet. Many of you guys do on the call, probably, right? But my biggest goal, my dream was always to buy an asset, maybe, and then it could be small, it can be a 30 unit, a 40 unit, and just to leave it behind, you know, so that when I one day leave this world, I know that my kids have something to fall back on, and that thing's gonna cash flow, and it's gonna, you know, support them, and it's gonna put them through college. And worst case scenario, you know, they have something to look and to fall back on when I'm long gone, right? We can't do that. I cannot do that on my own if I don't know how to acquire a property. I can't do that alone if I don't know how to manage one. I can't do that alone if I don't know how to, you know, just all the above. In order to do that, and that's what we're doing right now. I've learned so much, and I'm learning on these 130 unit properties that we're buying because I'm in the mix. I'm sitting in these meetings. I'm watching Sean, I'm watching Jana, I'm watching myself. I'm even jumping in, speaking on how is it, you know, why aren't we doing this, or how can we get there? How can we succeed? How can we turn this asset around? Making calculated decisions, right? I cannot go buy a smaller unit if I can't even manage it, right? And that's what we're learning as a team. That's what we're learning how to do together. So that when my net worth grows these next 5, 6, 7 years, and an opportunity comes, and I'm able to buy one of these, maybe finance it on my own, or maybe not even, maybe partner up with John or Jana and Sean, right? We're like, hey, let's just take it down, whatever. Or Robert, what's up, Robert? You got something? Let's just take it down. You know, we're able to do it together, right? Is the point. We know how to do it because we're buying all these 133 of these 200 unit assets. What's a little 33? Piece of cake. We can do it with our eyes closed, right? But that none of that is possible if we do not know how to run assets. And we learn how to run assets by coming together and just taking them on. So if that's even in the back of your mind, well, Sergio, I don't care about these big units. I want the small one. I'm going to start small with the 20 unit. You're not going to, if you can't do it 20, you're not going to be able to do it alone. You got to learn how to do these bigger assets together, learn from the experience, from our experience, and then you can go back and do what you got to do in a couple years, right? So just this goes out for those that are just thinking very, very small right now, that are saying, well, Sergio, I don't care about these big assets. I don't care about the 1,000 units. Well, how are you going to learn how to buy assets? You got to have a background, right? You got to have some kind of track record. You got to partner with people that know what they're doing. So that being said, I'm gonna go ahead and turn it over to Tiago. It looks like he has his hand up.
Hello, everyone. Good to see y'all here. I keep rubbing into Jana because Jana always just speak about the A-class asset, A-class. It's just like finding, I was like, yeah, God is, listening to her prayers closely. Congrats. So question for you, y'all. Do you guys do the fund-to-fund deal yet, or is not something that it's being integrated to the MIA yet?
Let Sean take it.
Great question, Tiago, and funny you should ask. We do have we have what's called a flex fund set up. So it's a little bit, it's not a blind pool fund. It's more of a specific fund, but we're able to add on different assets into that fund. So, I mean, that's more of probably a 301 or 401 conversation. So I don't want to get into it too deep here on this call, but yes, to answer your question.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I'll definitely would like to set up a call with you guys because it might be something that it's on the rise on my end.
Yeah, of course, man. Absolutely. You're in Argyle, bro. You're like 5 minutes down the road.
Hey, you just have to say I have some cold green tea here or some cold juice, and I'll come over.
I'm coming to see. I'll come over to your place. You get dinner ready. Get the dog, ready. He likes to. We get along pretty good. So say when.
I'm afraid my dog might be hijacked by Sean.
I would take that dog. That's an awesome dog, man.
Yeah, we'll definitely connect, Sean. Appreciate it for the answer.
Awesome. Okay, Sean, now you're speaking right now. So you want to just share a little bit about you know, the division with MIA and what we have going on, what we have, you know, we have a couple assets, we have a couple of spots. So you want to explain that, you know, from your point of view?
Yeah, I saw a kind of a question earlier. I don't know where it went. Maybe it was Lars, I think, asked, you know, the GP seats are very limited. Are they not? So as a GP, they are kind of limited in the sense that, you know, as Sergio was talking earlier about the SEC regulations, we got all of our GPs are active in our deals. They don't just come in and capital raise. So we have roles and responsibilities, and we hold each other accountable. That's what makes our team very successful, is that we're all have our own individual unique things. However, you know, they do overlap, and some of us do things and push others and hold each other accountable on asset management calls and property management calls and GP calls and all that. So, you know, to say that they're limited, I would say yes, with the frame of mind that we don't want, you know, we meaning everybody really as syndicators don't want a ton of GPs in the deal, because there's just not enough for everybody to do. That's number one. Number two, we have our group GP from the program that we usually take 8 to 10 people per deal. And it just so happens that we actually have 2 deals that we just signed contracts on in the last 48 to 72 hours. So we have a deal in San Antonio that we're going to be looking to put a group GP together, and we have a deal in a beautiful 2020 Class A deal in downtown Fort Worth that we're going to be looking to put a group GP deal together. And so now's the time, if you guys are interested and want to pursue the GP and the group GP, now's a good time to come in, because if you come in 30 days from now, we're already halfway through the raise, and these deals usually, you know, from start to finish usually take about 60 days. So it's a good time. I mean, you'd be in and learning right from the get-go, which is, you know, presents as a great opportunity. We have had people come in at the last minute. They just don't get to learn a whole lot on that deal, or maybe they wait, right? Maybe they don't come in on that deal. Maybe they just wait for the next deal. The next deal is always right around the corner. So yeah, we're super excited. I think it's going to be a phenomenal opportunity to get in on the ground floor, since we have 2 different types of deals, which is really cool. We don't often do that either. So one is the San Antonio deal is a Class B, 1984, 128 units. A little bit of value add, some exterior value add, not a whole lot. We'll be raising about $750,000 in capex for that one. So we'd love to have somebody in the construction side maybe come in and help us with that. What did I say, 128 units, 1984, 750 capex. The returns on that one are around a 2.2, 2.3 multiplier, with what we think is going to be well over 10% cash on cash return. So that's going to be a phenomenal deal. The Fort Worth deal is like, I don't even know how to talk about that one. That one's just, I wish we had some pictures to show. It is a phenomenal, beautiful asset, overlooks downtown Fort Worth. You can walk to the square, 2020 build, just absolutely stunning. It's got 4 floors. On the 4 floors, all entire kind of a lookout, common area, pool tables, fitness center, outside seating. Very, very nice asset. That one we won't have much capex, right? So we'll have a little bit in reserve because that one will be a longer hold. That one will be a 10-year plus hold for us, which will also produce a 2.1, 2.2 multiplier with about a 4.5 or 5% cash on cash. So a little bit lower cash on cash, but man, there's nothing that can go wrong with it. It's 3 years old. You know, as opposed to the San Antonio, we raised a little bit extra because of the age. You know, it'll be 30, well, actually 40 years old. So a little bit less risk on the Fort Worth deal than the San Antonio deal. So two different completely assets that are going to be different management type situations, different capex, and just different overall play. So super excited to have both those going on. Jana, you want to add anything to either one of those?
Well, I'm just very excited about both assets. And to some people may love, like you guys, y'all love the fix and flip. If that's kind of been anybody in the room, but especially Sergio, Sean, you guys love that because that's your world. And so you can easily see the value add play and we can get that bump. And for me, it's like, I want something 80% and we take it 100%, maybe in a B asset. But these A assets are the steady eddies. We're not, the ideal investor isn't looking for the big monthly or quarterly drip. They're looking to exit their money. They're looking to have, this is a Grant Cardone play, right? Like you just exit with a refi, cash out refi, and eventually you own the asset for free. Because we may own 20, 30 years because it's built in 2020, right? Like you guys can look it up. Cityscape Arts Apartments at Fort Worth and just go through the pictures. It's unbelievable. And so I love that. I love that we kind of all need a break a little bit for a moment, here in Dallas, because we have 2 C's going on right now. And then Fort Worth, what I love is it does give our team in Fort Worth an opportunity to step up, and they are so ready to do it. They're starting off with a B. Our Houston team is going to start off with a B plus A minus because some of them still have jobs. They're retiring themselves soon. And so I just love that these are literally our unicorns. There are neat properties that have the different business plans. And I think all of our goals is, yes, we want to either earn money on the buy, earn money in the middle, earn money on the sell or exit, refinance. But if we can find the assets where we're doing all 3, that's what we're looking for. And things that we can potentially hold onto until we decide to sell, not because we have to sell. So I can't say enough about these assets coming that are on the table. The other one is the Edge. You guys can look up the Edge in San Antonio. We are going to have an investor. If you're a friend and family of the guys, of me, then we'll invite you guys to a call tomorrow night on Cityscape, and you guys can see the pictures and kind of the play for that. And then the Edge will start next week for sure.
Great. Looks like Mr. Robert has a question. What's up, brother?
Hey, are you guys opposed to doing like an extensive like hotel conversion? Because I'm kind of like out of the box thinking of what I'm thinking about. I don't think anybody's ever done, but I know the guy who has patented like this brace that you put onto the exterior wall and you throw a beam across it and you can build up. So I think they're on Instagram. They're called Second Story or something like that. So the idea behind it is that, the affordability issue, you can do a renovation or add square footage to your house, building up. You can still live in the home while they're doing it. And as they complete the second floor, you can move up to the second floor. Then you can do the renovations on the bottom without having to like go to a hotel or, live on the sofa at a friend's house or family member's house. So even though this is really out of the box thinking, I think it's a really good play because it's got it's got like a conference center. It's got a restaurant, multiple businesses in the lobby area, and a bar and grill. But what I was thinking, you can turn the conference center into like interior rooms and stuff like that. So I don't know. It might be a little bit out there, but that's where my head is as a contractor. You know what I mean? And it's about 30,000 a door right now. It's 108 doors. So I don't know. I'm just throwing it out there.
Love it, man. Thank you for sharing that. I mean, That's the power of partnership, right? So that's why, you know, even people in the team, right, in the group, GP, people that they, you know, we're looking different roles and responsibilities, right? So terms in construction, and somebody want to focus in find assets, somebody want to focus in like different management, right? So even we have different roles and responsibilities that are really like clear, right? Okay, I want to do this, I want to find assets, right? We have already somebody in San Antonio that we found an asset. Jana and Sean, they went to Houston on Monday, and now we're submitting an LOI, right, in an asset that somebody from the team, you know, they were the one who had the conversation with the broker, right? And even, you know, this is real stories, guys. I mean, this partner of ours in the GP team, you know, he, you know, at some point he's like, hey, do you think that you guys can jump in the call with me with the broker, because I need some help there. I want to make sure that I'm not making any mistakes about what I'm saying. And then, you know, as you know, Sean is a hell of a negotiator, so he jumped in the call and with Jana, and they just went straight forward. We closed and now submit an LOI, right? That's a real story, guys. But yeah, I let you close the call, and then if you guys are interested, if you are really interested, please let us know, because you guys are the first one that hear about this, and this is because you came to the Cash Flow Empire call. You know, we didn't advertise this anywhere else. So if you guys are interested in learning how is that we are managing actively an asset, and we have two right now, right? So you become a partner, it's gonna be a partnership for, you know, 3 or 5 years or however long we hold the asset, right? But
Yeah, guys, I mean, pick your poison at the end of the day, right? It's always good to have options for y'all, and reach out to any one of us. If you came in because you were invited from a individual from the call, I mean, they can get you in contact. We can get a call. You know, you can either reach out to me, Jonathan, either Dr. Tim or Jana Usselton. Reach out to Mr. Sean Ricehouse. Reach out to any of us just to find out more information, you know, on how to be a part of this journey. It's something that, you know, a lot of people, and we like to say this, people buy into like 6 month programs. People buy into 1 year programs, but this is like a 3 to 5 year program you're buying. Once you're in a GP team, you're going to be in it through the life cycle, through the cycle of the property. You know, so you're killing two birds with one stone here. You know, it's just phenomenal. So for anybody that's interested, once again, please reach out to any of us. We'll give you more information. Um, Spots are limited, so I mean, we'll just leave it at that. You have any questions, reach out. We had a lot of fun, and that being said, we'll see you guys. We'll see you guys next week.